Hard to carry three, though, man. With needing the versatility in today's NFL, I mean, it is very rare the team that's able to carry the luxury of a third quarterback, you know?
Right, and not only that, there are teams that need to consider keeping a third kicker, which doesn't work too well either.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm with you, man.
Oh,
I do
I shake my head when I see all these penalty flags fly, J-Rock. You know, it really, it's not the game that you and I were brought up with. It's not the game that LG was brought up with, or any of the other listeners, I'm sure, or anybody else in our business. It's not the game. This is not the game that we came to know and love. All right. Now, again, you grew up in the 70s. I grew up in the 60s.
Oh, dude, I don't know how old you think I am. I grew up in the 80s, my
okay,
friend.
You grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the late 60s and early 70s. So I got some gray on my head. So,
I appreciate the game from the 70s. I study the game from the 70s, but I grew up in the game of the 80s.
Good enough. No. It's good that you're still on the low side of that big 4-0. That's important.
Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You know, and you're lucky because
not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Once you hit 50, like me, you know, and I'm 54 now. Once you hit 50, things start to break down. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hear you. Oh, trust me. Oh, they're going to break down at an accelerated rate for me. I've been getting hit with chairs and put through tables for 15 years. So, yeah, when they start breaking, they've already started breaking. I just I push through it now. But at some point in time, I'm going to go, that may not have been the best way to spend my young years of my life. So.
Well, maybe you should put a little thing on the website. Donate to J-Rock's hover round fund.
Yeah, exactly. You know, get me a Kickstarter going or something, man. You know, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting, Bill. A lot of teams going to have to start getting serious this week because you've got the third game, which is dress rehearsal. You got the big cut downs coming here, and a very short window before you turn around for the first week of the football season. It's going to be interesting if Mike Pettine goes forward and makes his decision what it's going to be. I kind of think he's boxed himself in a corner, even if he would like more options. I mean, as much as I've seen some people throw out the suggestion, go week by week. Go with the quarterback. No, that is the dumbest, most surest way for failure for everybody all the way around that I've heard. I mean, you don't do that. Now, that's not saying that if neither one of them is doing anything, then you make a change. Like, I get that. But you don't go, you know, I'll do Hoyer against Pittsburgh, but then I'm going to try Manziel against New Orleans, but I like Hoyer against Baltimore. Now, the hell with that. So it'll be interesting when they make their pick because I think if they drag it out, it's going to be bad for everybody, including Manziel too, man. I mean, you got to get it figured out and you got to get everybody on the same page. But I'm going to repeat it again. I know these guys are pros and maybe an 18-play call is not too big, but I'm telling you, when I listened, I'll go back to that little 30-second interview they showed with Gruden and Manziel, and it was clear as day. Gruden gives him the simplest play call and says, what's this called in the Browns offense? And it took Manziel 37 seconds to run it back to him. I'm telling you, it was the most convoluted call you'll ever hear to where I'm telling you, some of these guys, not everybody that's a good football player has a good football IQ. And clearly, I don't know if I'm accusing Jordan Cameron or who I'm pointing out here, but clearly some of these people don't understand what all 18 words of that play call is, and I don't think it's the quarterback. I think the calls are taking a long time to get in from Shanahan. That's part of the problem. And then how much time do you have left? No matter if it's Hoyer or Manziel, you've got 10 seconds left. You can't exactly tell every single person what to do because next thing you know, you've ran out of time and you haven't even got the play snapped yet. So I truly
they have to simplify. They have to simplify the words in the playbook a little bit. If they don't, it's going to cause them a lot of problems, especially like you mentioned with timing and running out of play clock time.
If it's 18 words, how long is it going to take you to call that? That's got to be a 12-second call, even if you're calling it extremely fast. So if you're calling it twice so that everybody hears it, you're probably using 24, 25 seconds out of your clock just to call the play, and you haven't talked to anybody specifically yet, you're already 15 seconds away from a delay of game. You know what I mean? Like that.
Absolutely.
That to me is alarming. When I've heard the Browns talking about it and about these long play calls, but that when they pointed it out specifically, like it was so simple. Gruden goes, what do you call, bushel 32X in the Browns offense? And I'm telling you, Manziel said, we call it, big monkey, blue monkey, up, down, left, right, around the corner, 14 right trips, 37-6. I'm like, what in the hell is that? And how do you call that in the play, in the huddle? You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. And I heard those complaints.
It sounds like secret code.
It is. That's it. What do we all got? Wristbands? Are we all out here with the Don Strock wristband looking up the plays here as we go? 32 DX right trip. Oh man, it's like rocket science. Come on, man.
No,
like I said,
I think it's like the French resistance sitting around the radio. The night before the D-Day invasion.
Exactly. Like LG said, you've only got 30 seconds. If you're spending 20 of it just spitting out the play call, you don't have any time for anything. Quarterback needs to, and this is to me the difference between Hoyer and Manziel, if they were both comfortable, is you call the play and you go, now you make sure you watch the weak side block. You go 5 yards and turn around. You're the one that I'm really looking for. You're the decoy on this play. All right, guys, let's go. But you don't have that extra time because... And look, the first play of the game, and that clear as day. Jordan Cameron did not know where he was supposed to be on that play, and then boom, off and running with the comedy of errors. So I think that you've got to bite the bullet. If you're going all in on one, just go in. You got to go all in on one of them. At this point, pick whichever one you're comfortable with. Pick them today and get ready for this weekend and get ready for the season. And if it doesn't work, then make the switch. But either you got to go all in. That's it. You have to do it and do it now because otherwise it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse when you get to Pittsburgh, man. That's all. Then it's for real,
Yeah, absolutely. And I just got a text message from my foot surgeon, who's, as I mentioned to you, is a huge Browns fan and originally a Clevelander. And he said... he told me, he said, you guys are doing good there, but you haven't mentioned the one big thing. This coach is not ready to be a head coach.
Well, there's a lot of people that feel that way. And
he's not ready to be a head coach.
Well, there's a lot of people that feel that think that this quarterback competition is a reflection on him. I think those are more the Manziel people, though. You know what? I've seen that die down a little bit, though, as Manziel has not stepped up and really seized, because I think a lot of people realize, man, maybe he wasn't as ready as some of us thought he was. Not saying that his top-end potential won't still reach what some people thought it would, but I think he's not as far along in the process as a lot of people thought that he was, and I don't think they realize how new to the game of football he really was. He does have a limited exposure to the game of football.
Yeah, I agree. And you're not going to see this team mature any further until Pettine matures as a head coach. That's what this is missing.
And I got to tell you, but I think he has also been kind of stuck behind the 8 ball from day one too by having this whole thing. This was what came along with the circus that we all talked about. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. That comes with Manziel. You get the good, you get the attention, you get the spotlight, but you get the bad too. While Mike Pettine should have been getting a team ready for the beginning of the season, he's dealing with 7 minutes of who's your quarterback questions and what did Johnny Football, do on the weekend instead of the stuff that matters. And that's another reason why I want him to just come out today and go, listen, it's Brian Hoyer. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at practice, because I want him to be able to concentrate on the wide receivers and the defense and stop having to deal with that, get it past, because I don't even know if we can see what Mike Pettine's all about, because he has been inundated with this situation from day one. If the front office wanted him to go in with Manziel, easy. Say we're all in with Manziel, and Pettine goes, you got it. if you leave it up to him, obviously he said, man, I'm trying to let the kid win it, and he still didn't go out there and get it. So I'm going to go with the guy that I feel gives me the better chance to win now, because my job is determined by whether I win now, not what I'm going to do next year or 2 years from now. Because as we see, Joe Banner set the stage for the next general manager to come in and get the credit, So, and I disagree about that drive. Yeah, okay, you can say Manziel flipped the field position when he took over at the 1. That drive died 3 times and was kept alive by penalties that shouldn't have been there. That drive was dead, 3 and out they got the 1 first down, and then it was a 3 and out, and then it got resurrected, so there was a lot of penalty aiding in that drive. I don't think neither one of them were effective, but even if so, by that point, you weren't playing against anybody that matters anyway, man. So part of me wanted them to throw Hoyer back out in the second half just to see what he did against the second team, because you still, if you're not getting answers against the first team, you still need comparables somewhere, but anyway, so that doesn't happen. Dr. Football, my man, as you see, a lot of this up in the air. By the time you come back with us next week, we'll be heading into week 4. We'll know who the starter, I don't know, maybe we'll know who the starter is going to be, and we will be really primed to get ready to head into the regular season.
And when I return with you next, I will have my brand new iPhone 5S.
There we go. So now we can communicate much more easily during the broadcast. Dr. Football, my man,
yes. Thank
you. And as always, people can tweet with you throughout the week at Ask Dr. Football. Ask Dr. Football, right?
Right. And I can't say anything yet, but I think next week I'll have a new writing position. So if that happens, I'll let everybody know where I'll be writing a weekly column after this week. Got to have a meeting tomorrow with the person who runs things before I can actually release.
Good luck with that. I can't wait to hear about it. And, my man, you enjoy this week 3 of the preseason, and we will catch up on Tuesday, brother.
All right, man. You have a good weekend, and folks, take heart. It hasn't started yet. Just make sure you stock up on your Tums extra strength.
Yeah, there you go, my man. All right, Dr. Football, have a good one. As I said, you guys can tweet with Bill at Ask Dr. Football, at Ask Dr. Football. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some Indians. We're going to shift gears as the Tribe is getting ready to play some baseball tonight. We'll preview it. We'll talk Tribe and Twins. We'll get you all caught up to date and ready to rock and roll. We're talking Indians baseball with Jeff Gorman from Indians101.com coming up next. Thanks to Dr. Football. We'll be right back talking Tribe here on the Sports Fix.
Warning. Listening to the Sports Fix could cause serious injury, bodily harm, or even death.
Ah, broken blood vessel!
You've been warned. The Sports Fix.
Hey guys, before we go to the break, I want to talk to you a little bit again about our good friends at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championships, some of the hottest fights in the world today. Each and every one of their huge events, Harry Buffalo is one of the few places in Northeast Ohio you can go there and watch each and every UFC fight at the Harry Buffalo. And let me tell you, I've been there. The people are out the door. They are to the rafters. It is one of the craziest environments for some UFC fights. Wing Mondays, they've got great deals on wings and drinks, and every day of the week there's a different special, a different deal. And don't forget the Bison Burger, the unbelievable. It is the combination of a fantastic burger and eating healthy combined into one unbelievable sandwich. You have got to get a Bison Burger while you're there. So whatever you're looking for, whatever day of the week, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sundays, there's something for you at the Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great Northern Mall. Check them out today. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Hey, this is Antoine Jameson, and you listen to the Sports Fix.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
The Sports Fix is now available every day on the world's largest internet radio service, iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeartRadio